Well, in the context of green buildings, actually the discussion always focuses on we have to invest something and then we might get some benefits of energy efficiency or any other related benefits after a while. But in my opinion, I think the behavioral component is also very important. Think, for instance, of employees who are working in this new fancy headquarters building. Let's take Deutsche Bank, who have such a building. Indeed, Deutsche Bank saves a lot of money by having these investments, but at the same time, these employees also have a great new building they work in. And then the question is, will they maybe go and work for Deutsche Bank sooner because of it? Will they be more productive? Maybe even they are even willing to have less salary, which an economist could think, to be able to work in that building. So there's definitely a link between real estate economics and behavioral economics.
But is it only economics, or are there other advantages?
Well, when you think of a green building again, or a building in general, there's always a tenant and an owner. And the way the owner behaves is, as most people do, in their own interest. So I can imagine that if there is something that has to be shared, namely the benefit of the investment into green buildings, then there will be some tension between the owner and the tenant who gets the benefit. And I think when you look at current economic literature, the economists are thinking about this, about new contracts that incentivize both tenants and owners to actually have a contract that is beneficial for both of them.
How will the consumer react on the green buildings idea?
Well, to be honest, I think they are not really aware of this discussion. Most consumers are probably, when they deal with the topic of sustainability, looking at their food or how much fuel they use or electricity bills. I don't think they really think of green building, especially of commercial buildings or big buildings. But it could be, and increasingly you see some evidence that consumers, when they buy products, they look how the company behaves on the issue. So is it a green company? And let's take a big bank who has a big green office in the middle of a town, a big town in Europe. And this bank shows to its consumers that it is quite green bank. That's a good thing, maybe. Maybe for that reason they would like to be at the bank as a consumer, as a customer. But at the same time, you have to be careful, as it could be interpreted as greenwashing. If the bank does not, in all its other subsidiaries, at least signal that there's something is going to happen there as well, it might backfire. And consumers say, accuse the company of greenwashing or window dressing of any kind. I think in any industry, whether it's green buildings, whether it's consumer products, or whether it's financial products in general, consumers are becoming more aware of this. So I would really recommend CSR managers of companies to take this into account.
So the green building concept and sustainability is becoming a way of life.
A way of life, I would consider it if every individual in his own personal life, in his own house, car, etc., really takes it into account. And even I, who like the topic as well, it's very difficult to be consistent all the time, to always think of the things that are important. So I think some decades will go before it is a way of life.